Welcome to a very early vlogmare. It's 5:47. Bed is made, workout clothes on. I'm gonna go get Thomas, who's very impatiently waiting in his bedroom for me, and go work out. I don't usually start vlogging this early, but I wanted to show you this like new morning, I hate the like overused morning routine on YouTube, but things that have been helping me. So setting up my workout clothes the night before, and then they're just staring at me, so I get directly out of my pajamas into my workout clothes, and then Thomas will make his breakfast, we'll go into the basement, and I'll work out while he watches his show. I use the Sweat app, and it's like a workout before I can even think about it, basically. Make your bed. Can't recommend enough making your bed by the light of my salt lamp. Whoa, that's real creepy. Okay, let's go get Thomas. This wonderful elliptical that Michelle, a marathoner, was giving away and now lives in my basement. I usually put Netflix on or YouTube on and watch it. The app alternates between a day of cardio and then a day of like working out. So yesterday was lower body, and I just keep like all my little bands and weights down here. This is Thomas's bike, and then my nemesis, the foam roller, which hurts so bad but it's so necessary. Anyway, this is what we've been doing, and feels really good. This is the third week that I've been consistently doing this every single day, and I think, you know, sitting at my desk, as you'll see later today, I sit at my desk a lot now being back in school, and it's nice to get some movement in. I will sometimes just walk around my house too, like just do laps. I've been really trying to get my 10,000 steps in, and I have started like looking for treadmills on sale and like used treadmills and stuff. So I think it would be nice to be able to say like steady but just slowly walk. The elliptical is a little too like bouncy for that, and it doesn't have a tray, like a book tray. Anywho's, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on this bad boy and catch up on my YouTube. Okay, workout done. Self high five. And I'm gonna shower now. I wanna know how many of you are watching this video while like on the treadmill or the elliptical or the bike. As I was working out, I was like, I wonder how many people are working out at the same time. Because I know lots of you have said that's how you catch up on my videos. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll be back. Let me fix this. And here we go. Hi. Ready for the day, and it's I think about 7:30, so I am going to write in my 5-second journal, which is this. If you've never seen it, I'll link it below. It's a product of Mel Robbins, and it's a great one when you feel like, hey bud, yeah, you can get your drink. When you feel like you can do it. You do it. It's a great one for when you feel like you don't have a lot of time, hence 5 seconds. And I had been spending quite a bit of time in the morning journaling, but I've replaced that with working out consistently, which feels good. And then just journaling intermittently when I feel like I need it. Like yesterday I journaled. So I've showed you this journal 1,000,006 times, but I'll link it below in case you want to check it out a little bit more. Got my first cup of coffee. So good. Let's get to writing. This won't take me very long. It's just a little nice start to the day. Just about to leave for school. It's almost 8:30, and since I saw you last, Thomas and I had a snuggle. I did some client work. With my new schedule of being in school, my number one priority is my business. So I start every single day attending to any client's needs and posts and all that jazz, because that first and foremost will always be my number one priority. Because, you know, we need to have a home and food to eat and all that kind of stuff. And then I find too, it helps me to compartmentalize. So like all my work bits, any of my online stuff for my own, like Redhead Mare, you know, for YouTube or the podcast or my social media, and then schoolwork as well. It helps me to compartmentalize. And it also helps me if I'm getting, say, like burnt out from reading a textbook, then I can switch and edit a video, or I can make sure the podcast is ready, because most of the episodes are edited. If you missed my last video, the podcast is back, Finding Your Cave, the podcast, and I recorded them all in August so that I wouldn't have to worry about it while I was at school this semester, just because I have no idea of the workload and that sort of thing. But yeah, so I'll take Thomas to school, then I'll come back and work until lunch, and then give myself a bit of a break. This afternoon's a bit different because he has a dentist appointment at 2, so I'll be picking him up early. Then I have a conference call with his school team to check in, which I'm very grateful for, that we're doing it this early in the season, in the school year. And he has an autism appointment. So as you could see, the day could really run away from me. So this is like one of my top skill sets, is being organized. And I'm grateful that I've already been working at home for like 4.5 years. So the schoolwork and stuff just kind of adds to that. But it's wild to me. Next month marks 5 years since I started my business. I'll probably need to do something for that. Thank my clients and things, but 5 years. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go get Thomas to brush his teeth and we'll head to school, and then we'll come back. I do have like a purpose to today's video, a request that we'll get into, but just give me a sec. Drop off went great. If you have been a marathoner for a while, you may remember that we went through a phase where Thomas was really upset at drop off, and I was a bit worried about school coming back, and it had been so long, but he's been awesome. He's been such a rock star. These are my blue light glasses that I try to wear all the time. I'm definitely noticing that I'm wearing them every time I'm sitting at my desk now, just because I sit here so often. I'll link them down below. I talked about them in a recent newsletter, which is what I'm doing right now. I am what am I doing here? Writing the marathoner newsletter for the week. They come out Wednesdays. I don't know why I said that as a question, but if you'd like to sign up, I'll put a link down below. It's just once a week. It's not like I'm gonna send you an email like 4 times a day. Don't worry, it's not spammy. And I wanted to do this for a while, but I could just never like figure out what to do to make it worth you clicking on it. And I started doing What I Love Wednesdays. So it's 3 things that I'm loving. Last week I did a bunch of things that help my headaches. And this week I'm doing like entertainment things. So I'm gonna talk about the RBG movie about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who passed away last Friday. And I immediately watched that documentary on suggestion from my brother, and I flipping loved it. I've been obsessed with Modern Family, which was suggested, I think, in a Facebook Live by a marathoner. So if that was you, thank you. I'm on season 8 and I love it. I didn't watch it like when it was out because we never had cable, but I'm really liking it on Netflix. And then I'm gonna talk about my IGTV. So it's just like a very short email, but if you're interested, I'll link it down below. That's what I'm doing right now. I bought this mug when I went to Victoria for a marathoner meetup 2 years ago, which is pretty wild. Also working on my juggie. I drink 2 of these a day. I think this is 80 ounces of liquid. I'll link her below too. I had someone ask me, like, they're looking for a juggie and couldn't find it. This is just what I call it because the woman who recommended it to me, Miss Lola Lynn on Instagram and the YouTubes, that's what she calls it. Anywho's, back to it. There is something that I wanted to address in this video in particular because a marathoner asked me to, and recently I did a Q&A video, but this was such a big topic that I didn't want to just answer it in 1 or 2 points. And the topic is getting over heartbreak. And this is something that I have a lot of experience in. And it's something that is like so personal and so different for everybody. So I don't know your exact situation, but I know that you watching this, you can relate depending on what kind of heartbreak you've been through or maybe you're currently going through. I am seeing so many people break up this year. And if you're one of those people, I am sending you a virtual hug and wish I could send you more. It is something that is often unexpected, and I think the first thing I would say, since you asked my advice, is to not judge yourself and not judge your reaction and not judge how you're feeling. That's something that was like drilled into me in therapy so much, was like, have a feeling or an emotion, but then don't make it worse by judging it. So you're sad, but then don't be mad that you're sad, or don't then judge that you're mad that you broke up, or don't judge yourself that it's taking a while for you to move on. Those big loves of our lives, I don't think we ever truly are like cured from. You know, I have been very fortunate to have a few loves in my life, and each one was very different and incredibly hard to move away from and move on from. And I think a little piece of them is always with you. So don't judge yourself and don't judge your emotions. Be kind to yourself. Know that it will get better, as like trite and annoying as that sounds. I promise you that it will. Think of other times in your life when you've gone through something hard, whether it's getting fired, or I don't know, say your parents getting divorced, or you losing a friendship, or losing a job or a friend, or life just taking you down a path that you didn't expect. And those things that were like huge deals at the time now, you know, have made you stronger. They're woven into the tapestry of your cape, and they have made you who you are. So, you know, we go through really terrible times, but it makes you a better, stronger, fuller person. Again, that's really hard to hear when you're struggling. So I can only speak from my experience, and I will tell you how I dealt with heartbreak after Jeremy died. I hadn't dated, like Jared and I were together from 2005 until his passing in 2017. So I hadn't been alone in years. And before I dated Jeremy, I dated the first love of my life, and we were together for 2.5 years. So I hadn't been single in a really long time, like pre-social media. And I made the decision to take a year to basically date myself. And I did it pretty
quietly and privately, but I spent a lot of time alone. I didn't want to get into a relationship too quickly because I didn't want to sacrifice myself. And I found in my mid-30s, when Jeremy died, I was 33, I didn't really know myself. You know, I knew myself as like a wife, a mom, an employee, but I didn't know who I was at 33. Like, I would just look in the mirror and be like, who is she? So I spent a lot of time reflecting on myself and a lot of time doing the stuff that hurts and sucks and is painful. You know, you can just suppress and ignore it and, like, I would say, like, go out and party, but it's COVID, so nobody's doing that. Whatever the equivalent is of that in 2020. You know, you can, like, numb and do all the ways in which people numb, busy or overly happy, or, you know, using substance or whatever, but yourself, you're never going to go away, and you're always going to be there, and that pain's always going to be there, and you're going to need to come back and deal with it. So my advice and what I did was I just dealt with it. I didn't really drink that first year. I didn't go out a ton. It was just way too painful. I was not a good hang at all. But, like, find yourself. Who are you in this phase of your life? Are you someone who likes what you do? Are you someone who wants to change things up? Do you want, or were there things that you say had sacrificed that you don't want to do again? So find yourself. Like, just sit quietly, which is hard and it sucks, and I know you probably don't want to be alone right now, but I'm telling you that doing the work now will save you in your next relationship. So I was very determined to show up in a future relationship as someone who was much more mentally stable and much more sure of myself, and I wanted to give that as a gift to myself and a gift to a future partner. So I spent a lot of time, for me it's journaling, maybe for you it's just like talking out loud to yourself, maybe it's just brainstorming, maybe it's like making Pinterest boards, whatever it is, to really like find out who you are. Are there hobbies that you wish you did? Are there things that, you know, haven't been able to be as important to you and now you want to make a priority? Make lists. So I started really cultivating like what was important to me in a new partner, and also what was important to me in myself. And you know, there's those like sayings where like you can never really love someone if you don't love yourself, which I know is like really hard to hear for a lot of people, but it's so true. And the faster you can know that like you're a good hang alone, you love to spend time alone, I think that's really important. I think it's important to know that like you don't need to rely on anyone, so you're like self-sufficient, and your happiness isn't going to be the responsibility of anybody else. Like, that's a huge one. So if you look to other people to like supplement your own esteem, that's not fair in a relationship, and that's not fair to you or to your future partner. So like my instinct is to always look ahead and look forward. And so that's what I was doing, was like, I wanted to show up as a good partner in my next relationship, which I knew wouldn't be for a long time. But, you know, knowing what was important to me really helped, and taking that time to be alone and taking that time to not listen to anybody else, and to really think like, what's important to me and what do I want? What am I looking for in a new partner? You know, and owning my mistakes in previous relationships and owning what I could do better, but then also owning the things that are important to me that were going to be non-negotiables. If you are dealing with heartbreak and heartache from a toxic relationship, I can't recommend therapy enough. You know, I love BetterHelp, which is an app. There's also lots of local therapists you can see. Like my therapist locally, we've been doing video calls. I just can't recommend it enough to get like real actionable tools. I also have a friend who's in therapy, and she said to her therapist, like, I don't want homework. I just want someone who's going to listen, and I just want to be told, you know, that my feelings are valid and that I'm not alone. And that's been hugely helpful for her. Think about something that happened to you in your life previously and how, you know, it was really upsetting then, and now you never even think about it, or if you do, it's very fleeting. You know, like, that is a good reminder that this too shall pass and the pain will pass. And I'm a firm believer that everything is happening for you and not to you. So like looking for like what to learn from this, what you can learn from this relationship and take into your next relationship, and like what you need to learn about yourself. Again, this is all just like my personal experience. But I felt when I met my current partner that I still had a lot of learning to do, which you'll hear about in one of the podcast episodes in season 2. But I had a lot of work to do, but I had already had so much work under my belt that I was able to do it and not taint or sacrifice or screw up our relationship because I was uncomfortable and because I was still grieving and having a hard time with things. Like, I show up to this relationship so much differently than I had in any other one. And when I was going through that heartbreak, I wasn't thinking about dating. I was more thinking about making myself as happy and strong and loved, like me loving myself as much as possible. And then, you know, when I was ready. But I hope that that helps. Again, you're not alone. So many people are ending relationships in 2020. And if you are someone who is, feel free to comment below. Maybe you guys can like chat to one another or in the group, the Facebook group. It's so hard. But if you can look at it like every relationship is teaching you something for your next one, that was helpful for me. And also, you know, it was the same way as I was dating, like meeting people and being like, I like this, but I didn't like that. So like narrowing down my list of what I would look for in an actual life partner was very helpful. If you have any more tips and tricks on how to deal with heartbreak and heartache, leave them down below because you guys are so smart and so helpful. I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna go back to my poetry homework. I'm currently dissecting a poem by Emily Dickinson, which I'm very happy about. This is where I leave you. Got my little twinkle lights happening. Ooh, and Thomas is in the bath, and I just put on a new face mask. This is a Himalayan charcoal mask from the Body Shop. My aunt got me a really thoughtful 3 small pot set of face masks from the Body Shop so I could try a bunch for my birthday. And this one is probably gonna dry right before your eyes. It's very tingly. Advice when you do a face mask, set a timer, especially if you have very sensitive skin like me. So I am going to say goodnight to you. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that the heartbreak tips were helpful. That was the main purpose and the main theme of today. It literally looks like someone threw up on my face. I assure you, they did not. But I'll see you next Sunday for a video, and keep watching my IGTV because I've been enjoying those impromptu, like I said. Listen for the podcast. First episode is already out, and I'll see you in the next one. Life's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.